Okay, I call this one business meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. Roll call. Brian?
Okay, so when I call off your council, I just want you guys to tell me if there's an alternate or not, and also just say if you're here or not. Okay, so School of Pharmacy.
Present, no alternate.
Okay. Conservatory.
Present, we have one alternate,
Okay.
but there's one normal person.
All right. School of Biological Sciences.
Present.
How many was that? 2. Block School.
Present.
Present.
Arts and Sciences Student Council.
Present.
Present.
School of Nursing.
Present.
School of Medicine.
Present. No alternate.
School of Law.
Here.
2.
Sorry.
All right. School of Computing and Engineering. School of Education. School of Industry.
We've got 1.
Interdisciplinary Student Council. Panhellenic Council.
Present.
IFC.
Present.
MPHC.
Present.
International Student Council. Multicultural Student Council.
Present.
Resident Hall Council.
Present.
And LGBTQIA Council.
Service Members Council is present at 1.
Oh, Service Members. No, it's not in there.
Okay, so approval of minutes, and we have the minutes from September 29th and September 13th. They're all sent out in the email.
Move to approve the minutes.
Go a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor? All opposed? And all abstain. Awesome. So we're going to move on to presentations. And first one is St. Jude's Up Till Dawn.
Hi, my name is Sandeep and this is Saad. We're both members of the exec board for St. Jude's Up Till Dawn, and we're just going to give a brief informal presentation just about our group that started this year. And we just wanted to talk to you about our event that we're going to be hosting at the end of February. And it's for St. Jude's program associated with the hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. So it's going to do a little explaining about what our mission statement is and what our group is here to do on campus. And like I said before, it's both a philanthropy and a fundraising group.
So how many of you are aware of the Children's Hospital down in Memphis, St. Jude's? All right, so a few yes. Basically what they do is they provide cancer treatments to all children of all families for free. They don't ever bill their patients or anything. And the main thing is that they're very reliant on donations from corporations and fundraising from universities and stuff like that to kind of help them with their cause. So basically what we do is we're setting up this is our first year on campus, and we're going to be kind of recruiting team captains. And each team captain then is going to recruit a team up to 6 people. And that team is responsible for fundraising. We're going to be holding various fundraising events throughout the remaining of this semester and next semester to help you get to a goal of $600 per team or $100 per person. And once you get that $600 raised, you're entered into our Up Till Dawn event. Basically, that's an event celebrating, fundraising all year and just kind of celebrating for the children of St. Jude's and whatnot. And that event's probably going to be in the end of February. We're still working on a finalized date. But basically, we just want you guys to kind of promote the word to your guys' organizations and kind kind of see if you have any interest, because we're trying to make this more just like more than just a med school thing. We want to make this like a nursing school, dental school, business school, you know. We want to hit all of UMKC and try to make this as big as we can, so.
And as I was saying, all the donations are given back to Memphis, Tennessee, to St. Jude's Hospital. And the hospital itself goes under the policy in which any child with cancer shouldn't have to deal with the burden of the disease itself, and their family shouldn't have to deal with the burden of the costs. So like I was stating before, everything is covered. So all donations are sent back to St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. And our goal for the actual event is to get teams from different schools to participate. And in that way, they're invited to the Up Till Dawn event, in which we, the exec board, throw an event to all those teams that raise $600. And it's basically a full night of us giving to you because you donated money towards the organization. And so we just wanted to get our organization across to the different schools, and we're also looking for people who are interested in leadership positions. So we do have many positions available for team captains. So if you could spread the word to different members associated with your groups as well and towards your schools, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Who do they reach out to? Who should we send them? Is there contact information?
Yes, we have contact information on Facebook, St. Jude's Up Till Dawn, and all of our information is on there, including emails, both Gmail and our listserv. So you can either send a request through the Gmail itself, you can post on the Facebook group, or you can join our listserv and we'll be able to contact you directly.
Can teams have more than 6 members?
6 is the maximum, just because the events we're going to host in February are going to cater towards smaller group sizes. But if you do have a group that's more than 6 members, say even if you have 8 members, you can split them in groups of
So we
4.
can have multiple.
You can have multiple
6.
groups.
And the event itself, it's more of it's like a competition. So like we're gonna have like our sponsors shipping with prizes, and like there'll be various stations and stuff throughout the night to kind of keep this. It's from midnight to 6 a.m. So there's gonna be a lot of like competing and dancing and stuff like that. So it should be fun.
All right, any more questions? Nope, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Richard.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
I did, Richard.
I have a couple things to cover with you. The first one is our organizations that are to be deactivated for the fall semester. On the roster right now, we have 117 organizations that were sent out an email just a little bit ago on the listserv that need to go through and re-register. Now, I will let you know that some of this are organizations that have just existed in their groups and just haven't been deactivated off of there. But there's still a majority of groups that are current organizations that are going to need to re-register. So September 30th was the deadline. That, according to SGA bylaws, was actually an extension of the deadline. Technically, it's only the first 2 weeks of classes for re-registration, but we extended it to September 30th. After working with SGA, we have worked on another yet extension, but there are some ramifications as those organizations can register to re-register and be reactivated. But they have to provide a written explanation as to why they did not re-register by September 30th. Those organizations have 3 days starting today, so by Thursday, to re-register.
September 30th has passed.
Correct. September 30th was the original
Was the
date.
original, okay.
Yes. So from today, 3 days. So on Thursday, they have to re-register. They will waive the $350 seed fund from this semester that the SAFC has given them. And then they also receive a strike. And then finally, they must send 5 members to the Leadership Summit in the spring. Now, why are all those ramifications SGA has represented? We're giving the student orgs an opportunity to be activated again, even though they missed the September 30th deadline. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. But it's a very extensive list. And on that, we have another subject to cover of how students are getting the information and those kind of pieces as well. So are there any questions with that? For reference, it's almost a quarter of our organizations. Or third, almost a third, over a third.
If they don't, if they decide not to re-register by this new extension, and they just re-register come next semester, will they still suffer the ramifications?
Not according to what we've talked about, no. but they would be deactivated for the entire fall semester and have to reactivate in the spring. Okay. Any more questions?
Is there a list so we can see if any of the organizations fall under our councils?
We just sent that on the listserv, so if you don't, if you're not enrolled to get the listserv, I would strongly suggest going to the OSI's website and getting that list, and then we can always have that posted elsewhere too. We try to just send out the listserv so that way it doesn't go out to everybody in the world, but the listserv is still everybody in the world. So I think we could have that posted on our root groups page under documents. I think we can do that too. All right, the other thing I want to take a few moments of your time and talk about root groups. So who has not heard of root groups before? One person has not heard of Brian. Hopefully everybody in this room has heard of root groups. You guys are the leaders of your organizations. But I wanted to ask you a few questions on using root groups and how you utilize it. So how often do you guys use root groups? How often would you say? It was?
Every time I'm gonna have an event.
Every time you have an event? Okay. Does anyone use it less than that? You use it less than that? Why do you guys use it less than that?
So it's kind of, it's not as user friendly as we'd like.
What do you mean by that? Can you explain?
We usually, I mean, it's kind of hard. I don't think we know how to send out an email to the whole conservatory through it. So we just have send emails to our secretary and have her forward them out to the regional secretary, which does.
Through just email, not through groups at all?
No, in fact, I don't think most of the conservatory people are on your groups.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell who's joined.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
The way our advisor explained it is you need to apply to root groups for events that involve one of three things. Either if you need a room here on campus, main campus, if you have alcohol involved with the event, or if there is money getting that will be collected. And those are the three reasons we submit them. Otherwise, we don't.
So the idea of all events submitted through groups has not been passed out. In what area are you from?
MPHA.
We're a school pharmacy, but our meetings typically are within our own building. We have someone that schedules for us.
So you guys think root groups events are more like requesting a room? That's kind of what, as well as alcohol and money.
Yeah, we've been using them for events that have been outside of the school of pharmacy.
Okay. Yes.
In terms of managing documents under groups, I think for smaller organizations, it works really well because you have a smaller number of documents. But for organizations like SGA, when you have a lot of documents, it can get a little bit hectic.
Because no folder system. Right?
Yeah.
I hear lots of good things. If you guys have also recommendations, talk to me a little bit about those too.
Similar to the conservatory, when we were trying to reach out to the organizations under us, we had to go line by line with each organization. We had to figure out which ones were ours and try and drill in and find their contact information and pull it out if we wanted to reach out to all of our organizations.
So you guys are you're talking from a council level to all your organizations, and you're talking from.
Well, we're a council technically.
Your council, yeah.
Conservatory's a council.
So you're talking about all the organizations, or
we have
just
a good
members?
grasp. I'm the secretary, so I keep a list of all of our organizations and who their contact is and who their faculty advisor is. So that's not really, but I just do it all through email.
Right.
I keep it myself. Root groups isn't very helpful to us in that.
So communicating to your councils, not just to the conservatory exec members and those kind of things.
Yeah, not the exec.
Okay.
I mean, like all the councils under CSA.
The
But we
organization.
keep a good track. We keep track of our organizations pretty well. Just through email. We don't use root groups except that we have to have it to get money.
Okay.
So.
And back there was a question. What school?
Yeah, so for us, a lot of the organizations, like even if we would post our events on the root groups, it wouldn't get to the people that we wanted to get to. We have our own listservs, we have our own Facebook groups, and there's a lot more venues of access in other ways that root groups, I guess, is not as popular for some of the organizations in our council.
So what do you mean by popular?
No one
What do you mean by popular, I guess?
I guess by popular, I mean that even if students are registered on group groups, they don't go and check to see every time a group posts on something like that. And with our listserv, we have all of our up-to-date members on there, but when we ask people to go sign up on group groups, that doesn't happen as often as we would like. You can answer.
I just know that no one at the med school knows how to use group groups, probably even tries to use group groups.
So I hear a lot of users, so
Right.
are we talking about education
Well,
for root
mostly
groups?
it's just because group groups is not it's not really targeted at the med school, the pharmacy school, the dental school. It's really targeted towards the undergraduate campus, I think. It's used a lot to post those kind of events and request rooms. And those are just things that we've never had to use it for. So I would say this is the first year that anyone probably on Hospital Hill campus has even had to use group groups, and it's just to request SASC funds. That's probably the only thing that it's being used for at this point.
So how beneficial is root groups for your organization? What's the benefits?
So I have a different question.
Hearing none, okay.
Yeah, I don't really feel like there's been much benefit. I have only used your groups for event requests, and that's because I felt obligated to do so.
Okay, so my question to go along with that, do you know what root groups has to offer? Collegiate Link is the software that has lots of functionality built in. And now I hear lots of both sides, and I just want to make sure I get down to the actual problems on top of everything else. One of those problems being students may not know how to use it. Or is it not user-friendly, which I've heard. And why is it not user-friendly? Is it the program is developed to not be as maybe up-to-date with touch technology and quick access? Is it more embedded access versus just right in front of you? Or is it really just students don't want to use this program? Because there's other programs out there that are available, but not everyone's going to be the exact same, and I wouldn't want to have to redevelop. So
I was just going to say, the one time that I was directly involved with trying to schedule an event through root groups, it was almost like root groups got in the way. We tried to submit a request through root groups. At that point, the date was available, but then we were asked a question. By the time we responded, the room had been scheduled by another organization, and we had to walk into the office in person and figure out a date that was going to work, and it just seemed like root groups was more hampering the process than helping.
So we'll get a little bit of feedback for the event. It used to be a sheet of paper that you would fill out, and all the reviewers, I will let you know there's about 24 reviewers that review an event when it gets submitted, and that used to be passed around via paper. And the last person might get it 3 weeks after the event. So at least we're trying to get, that's kind of that move in the right direction. There are ways to improve it, and I'm working on those from the approval side, but just so you are aware. Yeah.
Have there been any student workshops in the past to educate us on how to use it?
There was one today from 12 to 1.
Yeah, there we go.
And I had one of my staff members there.
I'm sorry, Jen, if someone wants to extend the time for the presentation?
We'll do some time, 5 minutes.
A second.
Yes.
I do agree with your point that it's probably a lot more organized because a lot of the things are on that website for you to go look at, and I think that's great for the people that are on the exec board to communicate with KC. I just don't think it's an effective way to advertise meetings or advertise events or have it as a portal to students.
And I guess maybe what is it that you don't realize that it offers for students? Because in the basic,
No, and I understand.
I'm just letting you know what it offers up front.
Right.
Is that if the student is not part of an organization and they file interests that are very similar to your organization, it kind of creates a matching game behind the scenes that says, here are recommended events for you to go to. Here's a recommended organization for you to join. So I guess you're talking about the current members to know about meetings and those kind of things. Okay.
And I may echo I think the School of Medicine on this as well, is when you have other networks like Facebook where you can reach out to students, I think a lot quicker. And when I say quicker, I mean people are checking Facebook on the minute, every minute. And they're getting updates to their posts or whatever group they're involved with, they're getting updates on and they're seeing them. And so when you can reach out to 60 people that way and you know that they're checking Facebook, it's more difficult because with group groups, you have to log on to root groups before you get that notification. So you're not getting a notification without going to that root groups page and checking the root group page.
Other than an email.
Other than an email. And so, and that email doesn't come as, oh, hey, you know, your best friend said you liked your post or whatever, or invited to an event. It comes up as, you know, such and such organization, UMKC, you know, things that maybe we don't necessarily pay a lot of attention to.
Okay, real quick, sorry guys, you guys. I want to get everyone's questions because this is really helpful.
Maybe a move towards an app.
So we are into a software. They are working on an app version of it.
Okay, that'd be a great solution.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
I kind of wanted to echo what he said because in terms of popularity and getting it to be more
social media. So it's really maybe going back to the company and saying we need to really work on getting it more social media live.
Kind of like you know how certain websites have like a sharing button for Facebook or Twitter. So maybe link their groups that they're associated with to their feeds. Where
And you know, it does that now, actually. The profiles can bring in Google Calendars, it can bring in Facebook, it can bring in Twitter.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, your profiles are all can do that, so, yes.
I think there's also some confusion on like what's required for events to be approved. I'm also a member of Kappa Epsilon, and I submitted a request to be in here for a rush event that was at a bar, so it had alcohol, and I submitted it, and I heard nothing for about a week, and I talked to my advisor, Dr. Cameron Lindsay, and she told me that I would have to make a phone call to risk management, which I didn't find anywhere in the instructions when I was submitting it. So I made that call. I think I got a secretary that said that she would tell them. I didn't even know who was I had to talk to. But, and then.
Peter Maxwell.
Yeah, that was it. And then also that she told me that we would have to do, in previous years, we had to collect risk management forms or like a whole harmless form for everyone that was going in attendance. And then she made some calls. I think she might have talked to you and finally we found out that we actually don't do it this year. So I don't know, just some confusion on what the rules are.
Okay, I'll make sure, I think it says in there that you need to contact risk management and check that you read the above rules, but I'll double check that. Well, I just really want to get this update because Root Groups is really you guys. Student funds pay for Root Groups. Now it's number one, it's a database of all organizations. That's up front. Students, it's a good recruiting tool. Your events show up on the flyer board if you submitted a flyer. Really, for students to get part of organizations, it's great. I think where we're running into is the back end, a few things, so really trying to get that more streamlined and helpful. I know that there are other options out there, but I'd like to try to figure out how the Root Groups to get it to work and function a little bit better. And maybe it's actually going back to the company with these concerns and saying, hey, we need to have these concerns fixed so we can better suit our students. Rather than going to a brand new company, because then everyone would have to relearn everything, and it may not be exactly the same at all. It might be completely different. So, and everyone's going to have their own quirks and kinks and stuff. So, just really trying to get it for you guys. That's truly what we do. I'm in it every day. I know that there's kinks and stuff, so we're really trying to help you guys. The events and those kind of things that we can try to tweak a little bit, I think we'll work on that for sure. So, at least thank you guys for your feedback. This is very helpful, and thank you for letting me take up some of your meetings today. So. If you have any more questions, concerns, just please send me an email. We can get them up. All right? Thank you.
Okay, since there's no old business, we'll move on to new business, and that is the approval of 2 student organizations. The first one is Student National Pharmaceutical Association, and the second one is Racial Alliances Spreading Awareness.
Move to approve those 2 non-agenda student organizations.
Awesome. Any discussion? Not all in favor? All opposed? And all abstaining. Okay. Officer reports, please.
Our next Senate meeting. Officer Gordon really wants for representatives or senators to go through this hour-long training on how to deal with an active shooter on campus, how to deal with campus safety. I think it was an important decision that I just went ahead and do it. That for our next Senate meeting, for us to have an hour-long meeting with Officer Gordon. I really encourage you guys to attend that meeting, because we really want that information to go down to all organizations so we're all safe on campus. Because it seems to me that these types of events are unfortunately happening again and again, and we just want you guys to be safe and you guys have the knowledge to know how to tackle one of those situations. That's all.
that's our next meeting in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, correct.
The email said that came out of the blue, that we said November 3rd or something, which is
Is it?
next week, but it's actually the week after that.
Okay, yeah, mistake.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's next
On
month,
that.
yeah.
That's sounds good.
Will be the 10th, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And is the training session only for senators, or if anyone's interested from our council, are they welcome?
That's exactly that we're doing. If you want to bring somebody along as well, but it's going to be primarily for senators, but if you want to bring someone along, you're more than welcome.
I would just like to remind everyone that orientation leader applications are due Friday at 5 p.m. I saw there were some packets over there. So do it. It's a really good opportunity. I know a lot of people that have done it in the past. Andrew Miller, he's on here right now, but he's an orientation leader. And it's a great opportunity that opens tons of doors for everyone that does it. Advisors.
I do. Lexi stole my thunder about the OL leader. That's great. There are applications back on the counter if you or anyone you know might be interested in the position. It is a paid position. And so just to let people know that you do earn money for that position anyways. We're also looking for candidates that would be interested in running for court warming for the next semester. So please make sure that you let folks know about that. That's open to any student on campus, undergrad, grad, professional. So please, if you guys know of anybody that would like to run for those court warming spots, that would be fantastic. How many of you guys are signed up for the OSI listserv? Okay. If not, maybe in a minute I can send this to Andrew, but that is a fantastic way for you guys to get the information out to your organizations. So as council representatives, you guys are really responsible for getting a lot of the information that we talked about here in this meeting to your organizations, right? So if you're not getting on that listserv, if you're not a part of that, then you're really missing out on that communication piece right there. So all of these orgs that we sent out that are not registered, if they're not also on that org listserv, they may miss this window. And then that may mean that they're not going to be able to register until the spring semester. It means that they won't be able to book rooms, they can't go to SAFC for any kind of funding, etc. So I would really encourage all of you to get your messages out. We only send it out once a week. Usually we try not to send it out any more than that because we know you guys get a lot of emails from the universities. So that's about all I have. Yeah.
Would it be possible to just subscribe the Senate mailing list to the OSI listserv and not give us the option?
I'm happy to do that if that's something that you guys would like. I don't want to do that on your behalf. You don't try to do that on your behalf, but you know, it's up to you guys. If that's something that you'd like to request, then I can do that.
I'll make a motion that the Senate requests to have the entire Senate mailing list added to the OSI listserv.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Nope. All in favor? All opposed? And all abstained.
I just have one last thing. So if any of you are booking travel or putting your organization that you work with are booking travel, if there are any preferences for where you'd like to stay or what times of flights and stuff like that you'd like to leave, a lot of that is included in the travel form. But if there's really specific stuff that you want to try to book, please put that in your request, or please say, you know, before you book any of my travel, please call me and we can walk through this. And I'm happy to do that. You know, I'm here to try to get you the best rate that I can find when it comes to travel and get you the, you know, at the conference hotel, of course. It may not always be the conference hotel of your choice. If there's 15 listed, I'm going to get you, try to get you to the one that you preference, of course. But if that one's not available, I'm going to go down the list and try to find you the next cheapest rate that's available. And so just know that what I book for you may not be exactly what you want, but it's going to be within some certain parameters. But please, when you do book that, know that once you submit that form, that's what I go off of to book your travel. Nobody else is really doing that but me. And so we've had some groups that have gone in and canceled flights and canceled hotel rooms on us. And that's a lot of work on my part that I sit down and do that gets completely wiped out and then have to go back and redo it again. And honestly, I ain't got time for that. And so I must tell myself, I ain't got time for that. So please just me a call before you book anything and we can walk through that. I'm happy to do that with you guys so we can get it on the front end versus the back end. Thank you.
Awesome. Open forum? Anyone have any questions?
One of the professors in College of Arts and Sciences is connected to the Kansas City Barbecue Society. It's the international de facto society for all barbecue competitions in the world. And they have recently started discussing a couple of ideas. One of them is to start a grilling division of their competitions, which, if you think about that, that opens up the idea to vegetarians who might not like to eat meat option. The other thing that they're discussing is starting a collegiate division of their competitions. And since they are headquartered here in Kansas City, as their name suggests, UMKC has the opportunity to possibly be the first college to be involved with hosting one of these. So we're reaching out to see if there's any interest in doing this. The Arts and Sciences Student Council, most of our officers are interested in trying to sponsor something getting going like this. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll pass the information on and we'll see if we can get something official set up.
Awesome.
The School of Medicine is hosting a blood drive through community blood centers tomorrow on the Hill. It's in the med school from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you guys are around, we are welcoming walk-in appointments. So if you guys can make that, that would be great.
Brian?
Yeah, maybe I missed it. I'm getting emails from you guys. Are we getting the documents, like the organizations that we just approved earlier? Are we getting those constitutions or any of those documents beforehand?
You haven't been? Do you want them?
Well, I just said, any document that we're gonna approve, I'd appreciate getting a little bit beforehand, so I can.
We'll start doing that.
We'll start sending them out.
Thank you.
On the agenda. All right, anyone else?
So we at the box school haven't been getting SGA emails at all.
You guys are new senators, right?
Yeah.
All right, can you just come in the afternoon and I'll get your email? Is that it? All right. Anyone want to move to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
First thing, no one can second that, really? And then-